So, DOJ blames China for string of hacks targeting federal agencies and hospitals. It's a matter of time. Shalom wa Ashar Shabbath to the elect of the household of faith out of the nation of Israel. All praises, honor, and glory and respect is due to Abenawa Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai Waha Rachaha Kodash, giving double honor to the true apostles and the true elders and the true elder bishops of the Great Millstone GMS, who do rule well and who teach well and who taught me this truth, laboring in this word and doctrine, and are our true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And shalom to the hopeful elect out there. Abba Ratazah, which means Father willing. So Father willing, this lesson is edifying. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the channel if it's your first time around here. Yeah, man, Jacob's trouble has already started. We're just in the beginning stages of it. Okay, there's lots and lots of things happening. So I got this article from Politico.com, and this was updated on the 26th of August 2026, that being the year of sellouts, agents, and apostates, and that was coined by Elder Apostle Taha. Okay, so yeah, a lot of things happening. So according to an affidavit filed Wednesday, the incidents began way back in 2018 and include attacks on networks at NASA and the US Senate. The breaches, which began in 2018, add to evidence of the Chinese government's suspected large-scale cyber and espionage operations targeting US networks. Chinese hackers carried out a years-long coordinated campaign to worm their way into federal networks, including those at the Departments of Energy and Health and Human Services, as well as the US Senate, the Justice Department announced Wednesday. The attempted breaches, which began in 2018, add to evidence of the Chinese government's suspected large-scale cyber and espionage operations targeting US networks, including recent hacks of telecommunications providers and military systems. The Justice Department and the FBI on Wednesday filed an affidavit announcing the seizure of websites used by a Chinese state-sponsored group known as QTFY to attack networks at US government agencies, hospitals, power companies, and financial institutions. This is something. Yeah, warfare going on, man. All right. Many of the cyber attacks the DOJ linked to this Chinese hacker group occurred several years ago, including an attempted hack of NASA servers in 2019 and a separate attack on an unidentified Ohio-based medical center in mid-2020, during the L-Down, the Crown 19 L-Down, according to the affidavit. It's bleeding adverts. Get rid of this. Wow. Yeah. So all that took place. Yeah. Okay. Hackers also compromised networks in 2024 at three Department of Energy National Laboratories and Technology Centers and at the National Institutes of Health. Other federal agencies targeted in recent years include the Justice Department, HHS, and the Federal Reserve, the DOJ said. US Senate systems were also targeted this year, according to the affidavit. A separate cybersecurity advisory released Wednesday afternoon by the Justice Department, the National Security Agency, and Cyber Command's Cyber National Mission Force noted that the Chinese hacking group was unable to gain access to Senate networks. Yeah. See, got to remain circumspect out here. Okay, we're constantly watching what's going on, in the news, as watchmen, geopolitically, right? Finance news, all right? There's many things are happening. Let's go to the book of the prophet Ezekiel, chapter 3, verse 17. And it reads, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore hear the word at my mouth, and give them warning from me. And the prophets of the Lord are, the mouthpiece of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. Okay. And yeah, we're watching. Right? Scripture says to watch as well as pray. The Most High has raised up his men. Okay. That's why we're giving out the warning, blowing the trumpet in Zion, sounding an alarm in the Lord's holy mountain. Okay. Verse 18. When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked way, to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thine hand. Yeah, a lot of death is coming. Facts. Right? You disregarded the warnings, right? Then it's on you, straight up. All right? But there we go, man. Okay? So if we do not warn you, then the blood is on our hands. That's why, Apostle Paul said, knowing the terror of the Lord, we persuade men. Okay? The Lord is bringing judgment. All right? Okay? That's why it's our job to warn, or else the blood is on our hands. Okay? Both the wicked men, and the ones that's not warning, are going to get judged. In fact, let's go to Corinthians. 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 16 reads, For though I preach the gospel, I have nothing to glory of, for necessity is laid upon me. Yea, woe is unto me if I preach not the gospel. That's right, man. Okay, we have nothing to glory in. Okay, we never earned this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Okay, we've nothing to brag and boast about. Okay, there's no room for pride. All right, but it's necessary to preach this word, man. Okay, that's why we, constantly edify through the Spirit. The word edify means to build your knowledge. Okay, even build on faith. Pray for more faith if you're lacking. Pray for more wisdom. King Solomon asked for wisdom. It's mandatory, compulsory for us to push this gospel, this truth, this word. Right? Let's go back to Ezekiel, chapter 3. Go to verse 19. And it reads, Yet if thou warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness, nor from his wicked way, he shall die in his iniquity, but thou hast delivered thy soul. That's right. Now, if they don't take heed when we warn them, then that's on them. The blood is off our hands. Okay? Because we gave out the warnings. They didn't take heed. All right? Talking to our people. So-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and the Israelite foreign and speckled birds scattered across the whole world. Okay? The Lord's chosen people. We know 2/3 of you in Babylon, the Great America, is gonna perish. All right? See, all this waking up early and clocking into work is nearly over. Doing night shifts, getting stuck in traffic, paying bills is nearly over. The MOTB is around the corner. Okay. Look at this. China's doing this. I'm going to put the link to this article in the description box beneath. Look at this. According to the Joint Advisory, QTFY hackers attempted at least twice, once in 2019 and again in June, to identify vulnerabilities in networks of unnamed US election systems. In both cases, the hackers were unsuccessful. However, the group successfully installed malware in Taiwanese energy systems, Salakia, in 2021, and that same year exploited a common vulnerability to gain access to government systems in an unnamed US state and at an undisclosed large US retail company. This is, see what's going on? Okay. Hackers, man. They managed to successfully install a malware in Taiwanese energy systems in 2021 in that same year. Exploited a common vulnerability to gain access to government systems in an unnamed US state. Hackers used a zero-day vulnerability to compromise the Energy Department, the NIH, and HHS, Health Resources and Services Administration, in September 2024. Per the advisory, a zero-day is considered to be the most serious type of vulnerability as there are no known fixes. Many of the breaches were carried out to gain and maintain access to critical US networks, the advisory added. Yeah. Meanwhile, you got most of our people just stuck on stupid. A lot of things going on. This book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 3, straight to the point. And it reads, "For when they shall say, peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape." See that? Sudden destruction is about to hit you, people. Okay? Blackouts, things like that. You know, and they'll have test runs of that. Okay? And all of a sudden, you're having food products being recalled, right? They had that with the eggs, salmonella. Okay. Now, me personally, I might any sort of food product that they're saying is recalled, I might go for it more because Esau knows that we hip to, the hip to Jake being more health conscious, buying more things, right, that are healthy, buying more healthy foods and things like that, detoxing and getting into the herbs and things of that nature. So, it could be a way to try and, curb our people from, consuming a good diet. Okay. So, gonna maybe even prompt me to even go further and purchase, food products that they say is being recalled. Okay. This devil studies our people. All right. But yeah, sudden destruction is about to hit you people. They don't have a clue what's going on. Stuck on love and hip hop. Too distracted with these bread and circus sports. These people do not know Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai. See what's going on here, man. China's not messing about. Okay. Their economy is strong. All right. See, these are the nations that have seen things like this. Watch, America, you're going to be the laughing stock. This book of 2 Esdras chapter 9 verse 1, and it reads, "He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made." That's right. So these are the nations that ain't messing around. They see what's going on with Babylon the Great America. Okay. "Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning." Yeah, earthquakes. Right? Riots, protests. All right? That's more and more commonplace. All right? Verse 5, "For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest." Yeah, we're at the end of this devil's kingdom. Verse 6, "Even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings in wonder and powerful works and endings in effects and signs." That's right. See, we measure the time diligently in itself as well. Looking at what's going on in current, news and linking it to the scriptures to gauge where we're at in biblical prophecy. And it's right at the very end. 5 doomsday planes stopped by the US, into Moscow recently. 5 doomsday planes in the air on the west coast of the USA the other night. Yeah. See, so things are going down. Real talk, no joke. The Most High is bringing the USA down. There's no stopping that. There's no healing Babylon the Great. It's circling the drain. It's not going to get better. It's going to get worse from here on out. And we are absolutely fine with that. No stopping it. Meanwhile, we are spiritually and mentally preparing ourselves. Okay. For what's to come down. Right, come down the pipeline. Okay, just waiting for the MOTB to be mandated globally. Alright. For the nukes flying and stuff like that. Alright. And other prophecies too. Well, that's that. I'm going to end the lesson there. Lord willing, this was edifying to whoever was watching and listening. Okay. Shalom wa Ashal Shabbat to the elect of the nation of Israel. Okay. And I'll put the link to this article in the description box beneath. A bad bubble.